Alright, hello everyone, it's Louis here once again, and today I'm bringing you another Battlefield 3 sniping tips video. Now, in this one, I'm going to be going over the sidearms and the attachments that work well for the snipers, and yeah, so first I'll just give you a rundown on probably the top 3 sidearms to use for the snipers, seeing as they work best in like the combination, because if you're in close quarters you need to kill 1 or 2 people, and you can't use a sniper, then these are like the best sidearms to use and they'll get the job done pretty damn well. So basically I'm just going to tell you guys top 3 pistols to use. The first one, and one of the best ones, is the 9.3R. You can actually get it by doing the co-op missions. I believe that it's the last one that you unlock in the co-op missions, but it is definitely worth it. It's basically an M9 that fires in 3-round bursts, and it's really powerful. It usually takes about 2 bursts to kill someone with hip fire, and it's basically just an all-round really good sidearm. The next one that I'd recommend is the Glock 18 suppressed, which is what I'm using in this video. I actually get a kill with it like towards the end, and you can basically see how good it is. And the suppressor is basically just to be a bit more stealthy so that people can't really see you and see you on a minimap and hear you that easily. So the suppressor does help, and it doesn't really take away from like the range at all, because you're only going to be using it at close quarters anyway. And the last one is 44 Magnum. Now I would recommend this if you're kind of doing some long range sniping with the M98B or the JNG90 or something like that, because it's basically like a 2-shot kill most of the time if you're in medium to close range, and maybe like a 3 to 4 shot kill at long range, but a headshot's normally 1-shot kill at close range. And it's just a really good sidearm. I used to use it all the time, but then I unlocked the G18 suppressed a while ago, and that's actually mainly what I use now. But the 9.3R is also a really good option to use for that. And so overall, I'd probably recommend the 9.3R or the G18, kind of just depending on what you want to do. And yeah, those are probably the best sidearms to use. Alright, now moving on to the weapon attachments that you can actually use for your sniper rifle. There are a couple of ones that I would recommend over the others, and but you can really make up your own mind about it. Now for the scope, I would 100% recommend the rifle scope. That is probably the best scope to use for bolt action snipers, because it works in medium range, long range, and sometimes in close range if you can kind of like quick scope them a bit. But if you're using super long range, then the ballistic scope will work for you as well. But I wouldn't really recommend the other scopes, as the sights aren't that good, and there aren't mil dots actually on any of the other sights. There are those like little arrow things on the Russian scopes, but they're kind of hard to use. They're not as precise as mil dots. So with the PKS 07 scope, which is the one that you unlock, the first scope that you like kind of have on the Russian snipers, that is kind of like one of the harder ones to use, and on the US snipers you actually unlock that 125 kills, which is same with the rifle scope on the other team, if you kind of get what I mean. So if you're on the US team, you unlock the PKS 07 at 125 kills. If you're on the Russian team, you unlock the rifle scope at 125 kills. But the rifle scope is the best one to use overall. You can use something like a red dot sight or something if you're kind of playing close quarters with the sniper, but then I wouldn't really see why you're playing with a sniper anyway. So yeah, overall I would just recommend the rifle scope. Now for the other attachments like the laser sight and stuff, if you're playing kind of, well, overall I would just completely recommend the laser sight, because you can turn it on and off anyway. So if you're doing long range sniping, you can turn it off so that people can't see where you are. But if you're doing medium to close range sniping, it really can help. If someone kind of jumps out in front of you, you can just no scope him, and it does help a lot. So I'd recommend that over the other ones. And the tactical light, wouldn't even recommend that. Like, I've seen people so many times just because of the tactical light, and I wouldn't have seen them otherwise, and I've just been able to take them out. The tactical light is a big giveaway, and there's no real point using it while sniping, because it's not going to blind someone anyway from that far away. And for the last attachment, which is the barrel attachments, you can get suppressor and straight pull bolt and stuff like that. That's kind of like what the section that I'm talking about here. I would not really recommend the suppressor. I actually picked up I think it was an M98B or a M40A5 that had a suppressor on it, and it actually kind of just screwed up the weapon. Like, I was using the M98B and I tried to snipe someone from like probably 150 to 200 meters, but the bullet drop was just like pretty damn big. So I wouldn't really recommend a suppressor when using the sniper rifles. And if you're like at a good distance away from the target anyway, they're not going to hear your bullet, they'll just hear the crack if you miss. So there's no real point using the suppressor. And so yeah, I would scrap suppressor. But the one that I would recommend is the straight pull bolt, because that actually helps a lot. Everyone says, well, not everyone, but most people say that it's the best one, and I have to say I agree with them. But some people, like, if you've read somewhere that, you know, the straight pull bolt's crap and the bipod's way better, then just ignore that, because the straight pull bolt definitely is the best. Because especially when using the M40A5, if you see someone, you might need to take out another person next to them, or if you get a hit mark, you need to take them out quickly, and the straight pull bolt really helps with that, because you can like kind of zoom out a bit, then zoom back in straight away, and the bolt still gets pulled back. But with the bipod, you need to zoom out, stay zoomed out while the bolt gets pulled back, zoom back in, and it's just kind of annoying. So if you're doing long range sniping with like an M98B, where it's like always a one-shot kill, like neck, head kind of thing, then you might want to use the bipod, so that you can just stay camping in one spot, staring down maybe a choke point, and then you'll be able to take them out with the bipod. But other than that, I would just recommend a straight pull bolt for mainly every situation, seeing as it seems to work the best. And yeah, so that's basically the end of the sniping tips video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. And new video up tomorrow or the next day, and I'll see you later.